Jumping right back in it where I left on. Okay, so I said, I even wrote a song about this issue called Take the Plea. Girl, if you accused in a crime, you better take the plea. You ain't got no money, you better take the plea. You ain't got a good lawyer, you better take the plea. Hey, take that from me. You take it to trial to send you up Shit's Creek. Yes, girl. It was so crazy. If I could, I probably can. When I posted that on my YouTube, do you know a lawyer commented back and laughed and said that was so funny. That was a funny song. They even know how the system works. Everybody knows how the system works, right? But take the plea, girl. That's not legal advice. That is save your ass advice, girl. That is not legal. So disclaimer. Talk to your lawyer. But he gonna tell you the same thing. But go ahead. Okay. You take it to trial, they'll send you up Shit's Creek. Our daughter was 2 months when my husband was wrongfully arrested, and 9 months old when he lost his rigged up trial, that stage play. They don't have to grant appeal, even though it's your loose quotes right to an appeal. Seems like the judge just side with one another without even looking at your motions. And that's in my husband's case and many others' cases. I'm not saying that's every single case, but that appeal lawyer he wasn't even looking at it. He didn't. Marchello rose a lot of great. How the heck he was even convicted in the first place? But he rose a lot of issues. And basically his own darn lawyer, he even put ineffective counsel. Without his counsel, girl, there would have been no conviction. He the one got him. And I got a video where I got like 15 reasons or 17 reasons or 17 ways how Marcello's own public defender got his conviction secure, his wrongful conviction secure. Yes, they work for them. They is not in it for you, right? So our daughter was 2 months when my husband was wrongfully arrested. I basically just got off of bed rest. And 9 months old when he lost his rigged up trial. They don't have to grant an appeal, even though it's your loose quotes rights. Seems like the judge just sides with one another without even looking at your motions. That was exhausted for my husband within the first couple of years. So most times all your alleviations from their wrongful conviction going to be just like that. Go by real quick. Okay, I've been fighting through every means since, and my husband still has about 17 more years to go. That's what his game time, girl. Nobody shot, nobody outed, nobody deleted, nobody hurt in any way, no fingerprints, no DNA, no evidence, no eyewitnesses, and not even the recovery of the weapon that they charged him with. And I got a video proving there was no weapon. And if it was, there's no way you did not recover it. No way. But it's in the description box, girl. So if you have this thing that slam ducks and proves that my husband did it, so why the heck didn't you bring it to trial? Why didn't you show the proof? You got the proof, girl. Why you ain't show it? Like, for real. Which means the weapon is just hearsay, right? Okay, so I've been fighting through every means. Like, now I'm fighting on YouTube because his legal means are exhausted. And my husband still has about 17 more years. No one shot, no one outed, hurt in any way, no fingerprints, no DNA, no evidence, no eyewitness, not even a recovery of the weapon they charged him with. Officer in the case changed the scene of the alleged crime. And to make it more aligned with my husband, then the same officer falsified the reports. Years later, same officer was accused in a over deletion of someone where he and 4 other officers pawed the man 5 times that was already on the ground. He was already on the ground. I'm sorry, 5. Did I say 5? Girl, no, there was a 0 behind it. Pawed the man 50 times that was already on the ground. And when they were asked why all the other officers had different stories, they were saying like, well, why would you do that? He was already on the ground. And they all had like conflicting stories. Nobody know why they had did that, girl. He was already on the ground though. And they got sued for that. Okay, but whatever, the same officer. Just as in my husband's case, every officer that was called to the scene, they all had different stories too, right? But I guess all their stories can be true because it's Spider-Verse and it can happen in many different ways, right? Okay. Very honorable officer, right? That's your honorable officer. Take his word, right? Because when the officer says something, it's like God said it, right? They withheld and refused to give my husband the surveillance tapes that could have proved his case, etc., etc., etc. The case held no water, and yet he still was convicted, which a weapon can escalate the sentence up to 4 times. He went in at 19 and won't come home until our 8-month-old granddaughter is almost 17 years old, and he'll be knocking down 60. Not legal advice, girl. No, this ain't legal. But this is save your ass advice, so take the plea. My husband missed our daughter's first steps, first words, kindergarten graduation, high school graduation, which he could have been at had he took the plea. And he as well is going to miss our daughter's college graduation this year. If y'all don't help me, girl, sign his petition. Just look at his petition. Share it if you can. If you ain't finna sign it, just share it. But with all that said, I'm about to be going to bed, but I'm going to see when Marchello calls if I can get his response. He's said many times he regretted taking that ish to trial. He didn't know he was a 19-year-old boy. I was 20. Yeah, he was a little young buck. I was 20. I just had a baby. That was my love of my life, still is. I was the love of his life. We were going to be happily ever after, except for he took a ride home with his cousin. And he never got foot in that car. He wasn't thinking about being in no system. This can pop up on you, girl. Just like Kelsey didn't think she would end up in the system. But it can happen. That is why we need to care. You need to care before it happens. Anyways, with that said, I'm going to see, can I get Marcello's response when he comes back? I mean, not when he comes back, girl. That's when Jesus come back. When he calls back. All right, guys, for now, it's your girl Cadillac.